There are moments in life that split time in two, before you met them and after everything changed. For Malik Carter, that moment was a cold November evening, the night he saved a woman whose world was nothing like his, a woman born into wealth, groomed for power, but starving for something real. He didn't know her name. He didn't know her status. He didn't know she was a billionaire, or that loving her would cost him everything. This is the story of a forbidden love, where status, family, and expectations tried to tear two hearts apart. The wind whipped along the waterfront, cold enough to bite through Malik Carter's jacket. He pulled it tighter around his shoulders as he walked home from the late shift. The city was cruel at night, the kind of cruel Malik understood. Growing up in the East End meant learning how to survive before learning how to dream. Malik was 29, hardworking, quiet, smart enough to get farther, but life didn't always reward potential, just persistence. He walked with his hood up, his thoughts on rent, bills, and whether his little sister's scholarship applications would be accepted. He wasn't expecting anything unusual, but fate rarely announces itself. Ahead of him stood a woman, alone, trembling, on the edge of the pedestrian bridge that curled over the freezing water below. At first, Malik slowed. People came here to think, to cry, to breathe. But this woman, she looked like she was slipping out of her life. Not tonight, he thought. Not on my watch. He approached slowly. Hey, are you okay? She didn't look at him, didn't move. Only her voice moved, soft, fragile, but strangely composed. Do I look okay? Malik exhaled. Fair question. Look, it's late. It's cold. And whatever you're thinking, trust me, the world hits hard, but you can hit back harder. She turned then and Malik froze. She wasn't just beautiful. She had a face sculpted by privilege, porcelain skin flushed pink from the wind, soft blonde hair in a loose knot, eyes the color of winter rain. Her coat alone cost more than Malik earned in a month. She didn't belong in his world, and yet here she was, breaking in front of him. Charlotte Hartman had spent her entire life living under a microscope. The Hartman name was a legacy, an empire. Her father was one of the wealthiest real estate magnates in the country, her mother a former senator. For Charlotte, expectations weren't gentle, they were chains. Tonight, those chains had felt too tight. Her father's latest demand had been the final straw, marry Victor Statham. He's the logical match. It strengthens our holdings. Love is a luxury. Don't embarrass us. So she ran. For the first time in her life, she truly ran. The stranger behind her startled her. He didn't look like the men her family approved of. He didn't even look like someone her family would see. But there was something in his voice, sincerity, warmth, grounding. Please, she whispered, just stay with me. For a minute. And he did. Malik stepped closer, not touching her, not crowding her, just staying. Being present, being real. They talked for 15 minutes. About life, about pressure, about the weight of expectations. He didn't know her last name. She didn't know his story. They were simply two people under a cold November sky, sharing something neither of them expected, truth. When she finally stepped back from the edge, Malik let out the breath he'd been holding. You're safe now, he said quietly. She nodded. Thank you, Malik. Charlotte. Her name lingered in the air, soft and trembling. And then, like Cinderella fleeing the ball, she whispered, I shouldn't be here, and walked away before he could say another word. But fate wasn't done with them. Not yet. Not even close. Malik tried to shake off the encounter. Beautiful women with high-end coats didn't just appear on bridges every night. It was a moment, surreal and fleeting. He convinced himself he'd never see her again. But the universe has a sense of humor. At noon, Malik walked into his second job, Hartman Tower, one of the tallest buildings in the city, where he worked as a night shift maintenance assistant and daytime delivery runner. He stepped into the executive lobby, nodding to the security guards. And then, he froze. Charlotte Hartman was standing at the reception desk, the same blonde hair now brushed into polished waves, wearing a designer dress that screamed heritage and power. She turned, their eyes met, and she blinked in shock. You, she whispered. You, Malik echoed. The receptionist looked between them, confused. Charlotte straightened her posture instantly, like she'd been struck with invisible electricity. Here, she was a Hartman. Here, she couldn't afford to show cracks. "Do you work here?" she asked, softer than she meant to. Malik nodded slowly. "Yeah, delivery and maintenance." She swallowed. Her world had rules, very strict rules, and Malik didn't fit any of them. He could see the conflict in her eyes, the girl from the bridge versus the woman born into status. "You look," Malik began, then stopped himself. Charlotte smiled faintly. "Different." He nodded. "Safer," he said quietly. Her breath hitched. But before either of them could continue, a deep voice cut through the air. "Charlotte, you're late." Her father, Richard Hartman, tall, powerful, sharp as a blade. His eyes landed on Malik and dismissed him instantly. Not even worth acknowledgement. "Come," her father ordered. "We have a meeting." She hesitated, glancing at Malik, just long enough for her father to notice. His eyes narrowed. Something unspoken, dangerous, and disapproving filled the space. "Before we continue, don't scroll, because this story is only getting deeper." If you're watching this on Melanin Chronicles, hit like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss the next chapter of this forbidden love that defied power, wealth, and expectations. Now back to the story. Charlotte followed her father reluctantly. But just before the elevator doors closed, she looked back at Malik one last time. It wasn't attraction. It wasn't curiosity. It was a plea. Don't disappear. And Malik, standing there in his work uniform, felt something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. And that was only the beginning. Two people from opposite worlds, one bound by expectations, one fighting to survive, pulled together by fate, but shadowed by consequences that neither of them could yet see. Their lives collide again, this time with secrets, jealousy, family pressure, and a reveal that could destroy everything. Charlotte didn't choose the rooftop restaurant because it was exclusive. She chose it because it was quiet. A private place where she could breathe without the weight of her mother's eyes, her family's expectations, or the Hartman empire pressing against her spine like a steel rod. But when Malik stepped onto that rooftop, she felt an entirely different kind of pressure. The kind that made her chest tighten. The kind that whispered, "You're falling for someone you can't have." Malik slowed when he saw her. Charlotte felt the world pause, too. She wasn't wearing her corporate armor tonight. No blazer, no stern expression, just a soft cream dress, her hair resting gently around her shoulders, her eyes uncertain and too honest. "Wow," Malik murmured before he could stop himself. Charlotte's cheeks warmed. She hated that she blushed, but with Malik, everything in her body reacted before her mind could snap back into control. "Thank you for coming," she said, her voice almost shy. Malik offered a warm smile. "You're the boss who apologized. That alone deserves dinner." She laughed, really laughed, and for a moment, all the walls between them crumbled. The waiter poured wine, but neither of them touched. Charlotte played with her fork. Malik watched her, sensing something heavier than embarrassment. "You look like you're holding a question hostage," he said. She exhaled slowly. "Why are you so calm? Kind. After everything in this world tries to punish men like you for simply existing." Malik blinked. He wasn't used to people asking real questions. Most people asked him for favors, or whispered assumptions, or pretended they didn't see his struggle. But Charlotte saw him, and that was more dangerous than anything else. "I don't know," he said softly. "If I let anger win, I'd never stop burning." Charlotte swallowed. He wasn't reciting a quote. He wasn't pretending to be deep. He was simply speaking the truth. "And you?" Malik asked. "What are you afraid of?" Charlotte froze. She had never admitted it out loud. But tonight something inside her broke open. "I'm afraid," she whispered, "that the life chosen for me isn't one I actually want." Malik looked at her with concern, but not judgment. "What life do you want?" She didn't answer. She couldn't, because the answer had his face. Their dinner stretched long into the night, neither wanting it to end. When they finally walked out, Charlotte lifted her face to the wind, and Malik found himself staring at her like she was something he had no right to want but couldn't stop reaching for. "Malik," she said quietly, "I know what people think. About women like me. About men like you. About us." He stepped closer. "I don't care what people think," he said. Charlotte closed her eyes as if fighting an internal war. "I wish I didn't care," she whispered. For a moment, they just stood there, close enough that a single breath would close the gap. But Charlotte pulled back first. "It's late. I should go." Malik nodded, though disappointment flickered in his eyes. "Good night, Charlotte." She paused, turned back. "Good night, Malik." She walked away with footsteps that felt too heavy to belong to a billionaire's daughter. He watched her leave, not knowing this dinner would cost them both far more than they could ever imagine. The next morning, a camera clicked. Not one, 3, hidden across the street from Malik's building. A young reporter, Maya Graves, lowered her telephoto lens with a knowing smirk. "Charlotte Hartman, visiting a broke construction worker? At night," she murmured. "This story writes itself." She didn't know it wasn't a hookup, or a scandal, or a secret affair. But she didn't care. She needed a headline, and the world loved forbidden stories. "Were you with him last night?" Her mother didn't yell. She didn't need to. Her silence was a blade. Charlotte froze in the middle of the Hartman penthouse, still wearing the coat from last night. "Mother, please don't start." "I'm not starting," Mrs. Hartman said. "I'm finishing this." Charlotte stiffened. "We have an image," her mother continued. "A legacy. A responsibility." Charlotte's jaw tightened. "And Malik threatens all 3, right?" Her mother didn't blink. "Men like him are rarely interested in love, Charlotte. They're interested in access, proximity, opportunity." Charlotte's voice trembled with anger. "That is insulting. And racist." Her mother flinched, but didn't step back. "It is realistic," she said coldly. Charlotte shook with rage. "You don't know him. And you don't know what people will do when they think you're their ticket to stepping into a world they don't belong in." Charlotte looked away, her heart twisting in a way she didn't expect. "Stay away from him," her mother said. "For your own good." Charlotte swallowed the pain and walked out without another word. Her mother watched her go with the silence of someone who had already planned her next move. "Bro, you're in trouble." Malik shot Jordan a glare while stacking toolboxes in the back of the truck. "I'm not in trouble." Jordan folded his arms. "Malik, my guy, my brother. Listen to me carefully." Malik kept working. Jordan continued anyway. "You like her. Don't deny it. You like her." Malik paused. Jordan nodded dramatically. "And she likes you back." Malik rolled his eyes. "She's a billionaire's daughter. Nothing is happening." Jordan shrugged. "Maybe that's true. Maybe it isn't. But I know one thing." He pointed a finger at Malik's chest. "Whatever this thing is, it's not small. It's not casual. And if you're not careful, it's gonna change your whole life." Malik didn't answer, because Jordan was right. Charlotte showed up at Malik's apartment around 10 p.m. No driver, no security, just Charlotte and her beating heart. Malik opened the door, shocked. "Charlotte, are you okay?" She brushed past him and paced his living room like she was running from something inside her own skin. "Malik, I needed to see you. I couldn't stay in that house. I couldn't breathe." He gently touched her shoulders. "Hey, slow down. What happened?" She looked up at him with tear-rimmed eyes. "They think you're using me." Malik's expression changed, a mixture of hurt and something darker. "And what do you think?" he asked quietly. "I think," she swallowed hard, "I think you're the only person in my life who sees me as human, not as a pawn, not as a future CEO, not as a trophy. Charlotte, and I hate that wanting to be close to you feels like choosing war." Her voice cracked, and Malik pulled her into his arms. She gasped but didn't pull away. Instead, she melted into him like she'd been waiting her whole life to finally exhale. Malik rested his forehead against hers. "What are we doing?" she whispered. "I don't know," he breathed. "But I don't want to stop." Charlotte's eyes fluttered closed. He almost kissed her. Almost. But the knock on the door shattered the moment into pieces. Malik opened the door and froze. A man in a suit stood there, holding a document with the Hartman family crest. "Are you Malik Carter?" "Yes." The man handed him the envelope. This is a formal notice. Effective immediately, Miss Charlotte Hartman is to cease all contact with you. Any continued interaction will be considered harassment and subject to legal action. Malik's blood ran cold. Legal action, he whispered, including restraining orders. Charlotte gasped behind him. Mother, she whispered, horrified. Malik's hands trembled with humiliation. The man walked away, leaving silence so heavy it drowned the room. Charlotte stepped forward. Malik, I didn't know. Charlotte. His voice cracked. You need to go home. No, please, Malik, listen to me. I said go. His back turned to her. That hurt more than the notice. Charlotte walked to the door slowly, paused, whispered, I'll fix this. I swear. Malik said nothing. She left with shaking hands and a broken heart. He closed the door and finally let the pain hit him. If you're still listening, don't scroll. This love story is about to explode in ways neither Malik nor Charlotte is prepared for. Hit like to support stories that challenge stereotypes. And subscribe so you don't miss the storm that's coming. Because the next chapter, it changes everything. Malik didn't sleep, didn't shower, didn't eat. He went to work the next morning with dark circles under his eyes and a heaviness that felt like grief. Jordan took one look at him. Bro, what happened? Malik didn't answer. Jordan didn't push. Instead, he put a hand on Malik's shoulder. I'm here. Whatever it is, I'm here. Malik nodded. Once, the only thing keeping him standing is. Charlotte didn't stay quiet. She confronted her mother. She confronted the family lawyers. She even confronted her father, who stayed silent in that cold, infuriating way he always did. But the outcome was the same. He is not welcome in this family. Charlotte felt a slow, burning fire ignite inside her chest. Fine. If they wanted war, she would bring it to their doorstep. Charlotte stepped out of her Rolls-Royce the next morning, and dozens of cameras exploded in her face. Miss Shartman, is it true you're seeing a lower-class worker? Miss Shartman, do you have a secret boyfriend? Who is Malik Carter? Charlotte's heart stopped, because that last question came with a giant poster. A photo, taken with a telephoto lens. Malik, leaving his apartment, at sunrise, looking exhausted, broken, alone. The headline beneath it read, The Billionaire Heiress and the Man from the Other Side of Town. Charlotte felt rage. Real, hot, unstoppable rage. This wasn't just gossip anymore. This was an attack. On him, on her, on everything they hadn't even had the chance to explore yet. She grabbed her phone. There was only one name she could call. But Malik didn't pick up.